What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about the life lessons that I have learned throughout my 30s that hopefully will inspire you guys to not make the same mistakes or learn from those things if you are in your 20s or if you're just getting started with your animation, because those life lessons are definitely important for anyone that is getting started. Hopefully you'll highlight some of the things that you shouldn't do, things that you should do, and things that will hopefully inspire you to actually kind of be a better animator overall. Not just animation, but also in your work with your mates in life. Let's do it. So the first thing that I'll tell my 20-year-old self is that there's no such thing as perfection. And perfectionism, I feel, is something that is incredibly bad because it keeps you in this mode that you have to always achieve more than you are currently, but it's a goal that is unachievable and gives you, in the end, a very miserable life if you actually consider yourself a perfectionist. You can consider yourself someone that actually likes to achieve a high standard in all they do, but perfectionism, that's subjective. So I would like to tell my younger self to stop being a perfectionist and just do the best they can with what they have at the moment. I used to actually look at people when I was 20, and it used to actually drive me mad whenever people didn't treat other people like they would like to be treated themselves, because that's how I kind of acted with anyone around me, right? I mean, I try to actually be respectful, and if I actually kind of say I'm going to do something, then you keep your word and you're honorable and then you do it, right? So people that were not that way used to drive me mad, especially when it came to my family, right? So that was something that I had to overcome, to understand that not everyone is equal when it comes to those things, and there's some people that take those things more serious than others, and that is fine. It's okay. Like, people can be different, and as long as you keep your goals and your respect and your honor to yourself, and you keep that as your main goal, your main staple, things will be fine. Just make sure that you don't actually project yourself into other people and allow them to actually be themselves, right? I mean, not everybody is perfect. I'm definitely not perfect, so that is definitely another thing that I would tell myself. Something else I would like to tell my younger self is, you are going to be fine. And I would like to repeat that again, because genuinely when I was younger, I did not understand that, especially coming from other people. You are going to be fine. I had this sense in me all the time that life or the world or just the planet was about to crumble any second now, and I had to actually make the most of life, because otherwise I don't know what I'm gonna do, and oh my god, and I'm not an artist yet, and I'm not a professional, and people are doing better than me, and this person and that person, and he has achieved so much, how comes I haven't achieved so much? All of those things were wrapped up in a ball in my head, and it made it feel like I wanted to explode sometimes. It felt like it was impossible to achieve anything in my career, in my mind as an artist. It just felt really, really bad, to the point that you get depressed, right? So genuinely saying those words, you are going to be fine, and meaning it and actually believing in it, I would love to actually be able to go back and just tell that to my 20-year-old, because genuinely, as long as you keep yourself in your own lane, as long as you keep believing in yourself and believing in a dream and having a goal, eventually it is going to work out, right? So just think to yourself, you are going to be fine. Even if it doesn't work out, you are still going to be fine, because life is not really about actually kind of being a perfectionist or achieving your goals in a big way. It's about love and family and just living the best life you can with the people that love you and are around you. So either way, achieving it or not, you are going to be fine. So this is very important, because the thing that actually made me change my thought process here is putting yourself first. That's the stuff that was actually making me like backtrack on saying no to certain things or certain people, which was putting me in difficult situations sometimes, because once you say yes to something because of that respect and that honor that I actually talked about before, you feel like you need to do it. Even if you don't like to do it, you feel like you need to actually make sure that, you say yes, so you're going to do it. Now, learning to say no and putting yourself first it's incredibly satisfying for you, because everything you do it because you want to do it. And if something doesn't align with you, or you don't like it, or something doesn't feel quite right, saying no is the best thing you can do, because not only do you save a massive headache, but you feel much more at peace with yourself. Because if you say yes to something and then it doesn't pan out, and you knew that it was not going to pan out, you're going to be pissed off twice. You're going to be pissed off with yourself, because obviously you said yes when you already knew that you should have said no, and you're going to be pissed off with the other person that asked you to do the stuff, because they should have known better. So don't put yourself in that situation. No one can read your mind. No one can know what you want at that specific time or whatever. So you need to actually kind of like reinforce that message. Even if the person knows, or you think the person knows, just say it again. There's no harm in that. And people cannot read your mind and know exactly what you want to know, because you actually are the only one that knows what you want to say or what you want to know in your mind, right? So just reinforce it, be outspoken, say what you want, say what you mean. And then if the other person already knows it, worst case scenario, the person is going to go, I knew that. Cool, no problem. In that case, go and do it, or like show me, So that is something that I struggle with it only a little bit now, but I used to struggle with it so much before. And this came from a perspective of like respecting others and not thinking that other people are dumb or stupid. So because of that, you kind of just say the least you can, so people try to get what you're trying to think or do or whatever. But that was a big mistake. You should actually always say what you think, and then if anything, people can be like, I knew that, or I know that, or let me show you. And then you go like, good times, we're on the same page, let's move on. You can have a degree and still be stupid. That is so true for so many people. You can have more than one degree, you can have a master's and still be stupid. Sounds harsh, but it's true though. So this idea that having a piece of paper or having a degree or going to university for 5 years, 3 years, doing a master's, a bachelor's, whatever, automatically gives you the power to say, I'm an expert on this. That idea is no longer viable, especially nowadays with the new generation, with YouTube and people learning for themselves. But for me, for sure, when I grew up, having a degree automatically meant that you were better than other people. And that was a little bit because I grew up in a poor background and no one around me had a degree, pretty much. So because no one had a degree, it meant that that piece of paper was very elusive. And because it was elusive, it made you feel like that person is better because they made it, and you're never gonna make it. You're never gonna have that piece of paper. But that is true to a lot of people. I mean, their parents can pay for their degree, they can make the marks, they can have even high grades if necessary. That doesn't mean they are smart. They can still be stupid and have a degree. This one is something that I was doing in my 20s, but it just got magnified as I got older. So I love to actually tell my old self, like, just do it, but just do it bigger. Just believe in yourself much more. And that is, do what's right for you and not what's right on paper. This is true of a lot of people, especially as you go into a professional workplace, right? Sometimes you're gonna find yourself in situations that you know that it's not right, but you're still doing it because everyone else is doing it, or because you've been told to do it that way. Don't follow your gut feeling. I really believe in my gut feeling. It has been true 95% of the time in my life. And because I had this disjointed upbringing, I feel like that gut feeling is the thing that actually got me to this point. And the more I actually get wiser and older, the more I get to see that that gut feeling is incredibly truthful. The reason why I didn't actually got into drugs, or didn't actually get into gangs, or anything all those things that was supposed to be super easy for me because that was the easy way out, I didn't do because I genuinely thought like I'm gonna do what's right and not what's easy or not what's in front of me or what everyone else is doing. It's tough though. It's really tough because sometimes you get peer pressure, as you guys know, and then especially when you're in a professional environment of a place that you really want to work in, it's easier for you to succumb to the pressure. But don't. Follow what you actually feel inside, follow your gut feeling, and then take a decision. I was of a mind that used to think, once again, going back to the perfectionism and all that stuff, that if people see your mistakes, then they know that perhaps you're not this, or you're not that, or you're not really this other thing, or whatever. So you need to mask it off by being perfect in everything you do, not having any mistakes. Make sure that you keep it smooth, keep it nice, keep it always like cool and all that stuff. And that was a huge mistake, because allowing yourself to make mistakes is the only thing that allows you to then see how other people perceive you and have a holistic way of actually kind of seeing yourself, right? Because otherwise you're lying to yourself by actually showcasing a persona that is not really you to other people, which makes it incredibly tiring. That's what it was. It's incredibly tiring to keep this persona up that doesn't make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone knows that everyone makes mistakes. Be the person that it goes like, I don't care. I'll just go ahead and make my mistakes. And if you guys don't like it, then whatever. Like, I make mistakes because I'm not perfect, and that's fine. And I still do that to this day, even as a director to my team. Sometimes you mess up here and there whenever you say something, or you forget a name here and there. They know that very well. And it's completely normal. I kind of just assume it, and it's fine, because what happens is, especially at the level that I am as a director, people will see you as human. And seeing someone as human is incredibly important when you're a leader, because what happens is that if you are too perfect, or if you actually don't make mistakes in front of your team, they will start disengaging with you, because they start to see you as much better than them. Not only do you have a title that is much better than them, you actually have responsibilities that are much bigger than them, but now you also don't make mistakes at any level whenever you do things. So allowing them to see those mistakes when you do them is actually really good, because your team will connect with you much better. They'll be able to be themselves, and they'll be able to give you the best version of themselves, because you're just like them. I mean, we're all human, we all make mistakes, right? I didn't have money growing up, so as soon as I started getting money, I used to buy the latest gadgets. That stuff was like definitely my thing. Like, I had the first iPhone when it first came out. I had every iPhone since. Best computer, best watches, best thing, best that, and it's like constant, that thing, right? Problem is that stuff doesn't really make you happy. And I think for most of you, if you go through a journey that is similar to mine, you'll realize that like that over time, it's not something that is apparent in the beginning, because you genuinely think everyone is buying Snickers, everyone is collecting them, everyone is buying this stuff. Like, I need to do the same thing, and if I am starting collecting it, then I need to be the guy that actually has the biggest collection, or the best collection, for example. The more you collect, the more you amass, the more you realize that stuff really doesn't bring you happiness. Hanging out with your friends, hanging out with your family gives you a much better boost of happiness that lasts way longer. And that's because people is in the end what matters, not things per se. And I'm pretty sure you all know that as I'm saying it, but as you go older and you have a family like I have, then you really kind of gets drilled in that those moments are super precious. My daughter is 4 years old now. It feels like she was born yesterday, and she's already 4 years old. So now I'm like, time is passing so fast. I need to make the most of it and stop like looking at like TV series or doing all these things. Just spend time with her as much as you can, because the next thing you know, she's going to be 20. She's gonna go, and then that's it. You lost it, right? So spend time with your own, spend time with family, with your friends, and just enjoy the most you can. So being kind with one another is incredibly simple, but yet very difficult to actually achieve. Everyone wants to actually be the bad guy, the bad girl. Everyone wants to have an attitude. Everyone has to be serious. Everyone wants to be respected. You are naive when you're kind with others, or when you are actually kind of a smile or laugh. And that stuff, it really annoys me, because I feel like society should go the opposite way, where, you know, the people that are happy, the people that are actually kind, that treat other people with respect, those should be the ones that I get praised, and I get like, you know, like they want to be emulated much more than the ones that actually portray an image of like being tough, or being respected, or being whatever, serious. Yeah, that doesn't really fly with me, and I can see through that, and I hope you guys can too. When I was 20, I couldn't, but yeah, it's something very important, so be kind to others. So yeah, as you can tell, there hasn't been a lot of animation specific tips for this episode, but everything that I mentioned here when it comes to the things that I would like to actually have told myself if I could actually go back, I would probably not specifically tell myself about animation in my early 20s, and instead about life tips that would actually orient me the right way so I could succeed the best I could professionally. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you are new to the channel and this is the first time you're seeing one of my videos, my name is Harvey Newman. I'm an animation director and I like to share my passion for animation here in this channel. If you haven't subscribed and you enjoyed the video so far, please do down below. Also, check out my animation club, animation gang. Press the join button right next to the subscribe button to find out more about it. And I also have a workshop that you can actually learn animation more personally, one-on-one with me if you are interested. Until next week, stay well, stay safe. Peace.